All right, I think we can start. Few more are just joining in till then. I don't want our team to wait till then. So I'll just start with a quick introduction process. Are we ready, Dr. Bagel? Can we start, please?
Yes, dear.
All right. So a very warm welcome to all the parents to the Astron Institute of International Studies initiated with the Tbilisi Medical Academy. As you know that this is located in Tbilisi, that is in Georgia. This is one of the most renowned universities in Georgia. And today amongst us, I have our esteemed guests. I mean, I'm really so blessed and so privileged to have the entire panel from the Tbilisi Medical Academy here amongst us. I will start with Miss Nino. Thank you so much, ma'am, that you spared out your time and you came to our webinar. Thank you so much, ma'am. Then is Mr. Saif Rustam and Miss Mia. Thank you so much. And of course, Dr. Bagel, he's actually the one who initiates the entire process. So thank you so much, Dr. Bagel, for initiating our meeting with the esteemed people from Tbilisi Medical Academy. So I hand it over to Miss Nino and the team from the Tbilisi Medical Academy to praise our audience for the MBBS studies in Tbilisi Medical Academy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us here on this webinar. Thank you very much for inviting us to this webinar, of course. Now Maya will share the screen with us and we can start with the introduction of our institution and Georgia, actually. A few words about Tbilisi and Georgia, where we are delighted to invite you.
So I have made you the host, Miss Nino, and you can share the PPT. The screen can be shared by you.
Could you please, Maya, the host, because she has to share the.
So I will be, my greetings to everyone. Yes, and I will share the PPT file. So
I'm sorry for that. So Miss Nino, you can make her the host because I am no longer the host. So you will have to make her the host if possible. I'm really sorry. That could be at the name of ma'am at Tbilisi Medical Academy, probably just a click above her name where there are 3 dots and that's going to specify that. Yeah. Great.
Maya, you can do it now.
Yes, just a second and I will share it now. Everybody can see? Right.
Yes, ma'am, we can see the screen.
Okay, thank you, Maya. So we are starting to introduce our institution, which is Tbilisi Medical Academy, Tbilisi Medical Academy, located in Tbilisi, Georgia. Georgia is a pretty small country. Maybe you have not even heard about it so far, but I'm sure you will like it as far as you, you can visit it. It's located, actually, to make it easier to understand, between Russia and Turkey, and is populated by about 4 million people here in Georgia. This population is not only Georgians, of course, obviously. We've got pretty diverse population here. We've got pretty diverse religions here present in Georgia. Next, please. Georgia is a very ancient country with a lot of ancient traditions and a very interesting history, just like India. Proto-Georgian tribes first appear in written history here in Georgia in the 12th century BC, before centuries. And proofs of that activity, of human activity in Georgia, are found in Georgia and are being found in Georgia every time with every archaeological expenditures in Georgia all the time. Next, please. The maybe most famous fact about Georgia is that it's a wine country. This is the country where the wine was not invented, but produced maybe first time in the world. And the earliest evidence of this are found in Georgia about 8,000 years ago. And we've got our own alphabet, so we don't use any Latin or other alphabet. This is Georgian alphabet, genuine Georgian alphabet. Of course, it seems very beautiful to us, to Georgians, and I hope that you will like it as well. I know that in India there are a lot of languages, a lot of very beautiful alphabets. Our students have presented that those alphabets here in Georgia to us and to our students during the diversity weeks in our institution. And I hope that you will find some kind of similarity in the traditions, some kind of similarity in our approach to our language, respect to our language and alphabet, and you will like our alphabet as much as we do. The most interesting part for me personally, and I hope for you as well, is that Georgia is not a mountain country or seaside country or something like that. Here we have all of it. You can have all here. You can have mountains, you can have the sea side, so you don't have to stick only with your study process, which is very important, of course, but as a leisure, you can, of course, visit our very interesting regions with the mountains, with the seaside, have a really nice time here with your families. And the capital of all this beauty is Tbilisi, our pride, where our academy is located. Tbilisi is very old and ancient city. Actually, it was founded in the 5th century of this age. And it's located on the 2 banks of Mtwari River, and consists of very nice blocks of the old town and of the new town. Here you've got a lot of sightseeing which you can again visit and enjoy here every day here in Tbilisi. And also we've got very modern contemporary blocks and contemporary places you can visit and I don't know, use and have time and spend time here with your friends, of course. As for academy, Tbilisi Medical Academy is one of the oldest private institutions in Georgia. Actually, it was one of the first private institutions which was established in Georgia, and it was founded by Professor Petre Shotadze, and we've got his name on our wall for a reason. Actually, he was very distinguished personality. He was very distinguished professional who had the greatest input in Georgian medicine, actually, and medical education. And he was the one who founded this institution back in 1992. Since there, TMA is growing on, and TMA is developing its mission all the time. And the result of this development now is the actual mission of TMA right away, which is a student-oriented higher educational institution which seeks to teach and develop national and international healthcare professionals. And we are basing our teaching methods on evidence-based knowledge And we are trying to benefit the community in Georgia and outside Georgia, of course, using the research-based activities. And our mission is not just the sentences written on the wall or here on the slide. No, we are implementing, we are using every point of this mission in our everyday life, in our teaching and learning process, of course, because the main goal of Academy is to elaborate independent thinking, scientific reasoning abilities, and reasonable judgment among the students. We are teaching students to think, to judge, and to develop their knowledge more and more. Next, please. How can we do it? How we are achieving it? Actually, we've got a lot of partner organizations, and we can say with our greatest pride that we've got international recognition with these international organizations. First, the most important for us and for you, obviously, is that we've got the WFME acknowledgement. This is the World Federation for Medical Education, and we've got the accreditation and authorization by this organization. That means that our diploma is renowned worldwide, is acknowledged worldwide, and if you will be willing to continue your study abroad, somewhere in Europe, in USA, or in any other country, of course, you will have to pass the local exams. You will have to take some local admissions, but our diploma will give you the opportunity to do that as far as it's acknowledged in all those countries. Except for WFME accreditation, our partner organizations are the biggest and the most important medical educational organizations in the world, which is, for example, AME. This is International Association for Medical Education. Initially, it was started as a European organization, but now it's the worldwide organization, which is actually providing the main trends for medical education in the developed world. So we've got the connection with this pretty strong connections with this organization. Except for this, we've got ECFMG, EMSA, etc., not only professional, but also students, international organizations where our students are able to take part in the conferences, congresses, I don't know, any activities, and to take part into exchange programs through these organizations as well. How could we achieve all these accreditations and authorizations? The answer is, on the one hand, easy, on the other hand, very difficult to achieve, actually. It's not easy to achieve all these acknowledgements, but here in TMA, Tbilisi Medical Academy, we are using only innovative methods of teaching and assessment, such as case-based learning, for example, team-based learning, except for the regular seminars, we've got some kind of team-based seminars. So we've got the case-based seminars where students are able to discuss the clinical cases, and we are starting all these kind of discussions from the very beginning. We are not waiting for the 4th or 5th year of education. You will be able to be involved into the clinical side of medical education from the very beginning. Except for this, we've got the clinical skill centers where our students have access to standardized patients. Maya, could you please give me the previous slide for a second, and I'll be done in a second. Thank you. And virtual reality room, all such, and also we've got the very interesting technical tool, which is Anatomage. This is 3D anatomy software and hardware, which is available in Georgia in our institution from early 2020, and now we are using it all the time. Next, please. Here you can see the facilities of Tbilisi Medical Academy, and Saif, please, can you help me with this?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you very much. So I'll take over from now. First of all, I would like to just tell you very shortly that I was an international student in TMA. I was so lucky to have chosen TMA, and I graduated last year, and I couldn't actually leave TMA, so I decided to join TMA in working in Tbilisi Medical Academy. And if you
Saif, I'm
choose
sorry,
TMA as well,
I'm really sorry for interrupting, but thank you for being so good and thank you for staying with us. It's our pleasure.
Thank you very much. So also for you, future students and parents who are interested in TMA, I would like to ensure you that if you choose TMA, you will not regret your choice, just like I did. So to talk a little bit about the facilities that we have, for example, we have the our examination center, which is equipped with the latest software and hardware to ensure that fair and easy, without any technical issues, the exams are conducted, as well as our microscopic rooms and anatomy rooms. I will talk a little bit later about the anatomy and anatomy in further, as well as our library and so on. Next, please. Yeah, to talk about the skills that every doctor needs, which are clinical, practical skills, the hand skills, and um, the skills of physical examination of the patient, and so on. And we have one of the best clinical centers in Georgia. This is our clinical center, which was newly renovated as well, and always being updated and developed with the latest mannequins, the latest software as well to serve and give the proper practical skills for the students. Next, please. We talk about the laboratories. Actually, I'm really glad to be in TMA because TMA's laboratories is one of the most advanced in the country, top in the country, and we are actually conducting research as I mean staff and as well as students. Students are with the staff members conducting research, clinical research, as well as theoretical research using our laboratories. So it's a great asset that students can already have the opportunity and the resources to conduct research already without waiting for funding and so on. So it serves microbiology, serves biochemistry, immunology, and more. Thank you. Next, please. The anatomy, which is very important to talk about. Dr. Nino has talked a little bit about it, but to give you more details, it's basically electronic cadaver. It removes the need for a real cadaver because it's actually it's a 3D image of a real patient, uh, and the size of the cadaver is also one-in-one with the real patient, and it gives you high details of not just anatomy but also physiology as well as histology. So even radiology, it has a function where you can see x-rays, MRIs, CT scans, and so on, and it's amazing for students. We even have sometimes free sessions for the students to come and practice and check by themselves with observation, of course. But if they need to further develop their skills and further study before the exams, for example, and so on, they're free to do so. As well as our virtual reality, you have seen our goggles. Dr. Nino talked about it a bit, which is a great asset for learning the 3D relations in anatomy. Next, please. Uh, about our library, it has the most updated textbooks, of course. That is the hard copies as well as soft copies. You know, new generation is going more towards the electronic trends, and it's all available in our library, as well as the access to international electronic databases for research and for articles, scientific articles to find. And that's how our students, even also our staff, these are the resources that they use to conduct research and write research proposals and so on. For example, the Elsevier, Cambridge University Press, New England Journal of Medicine, and much more like AMBOS, for example, the newest. And so on. Thank you. Next. Now, when we talk about the pandemic and COVID and what has the new reality forced on us, and how we deal with it, you know that it's not a secret that till now there are waves in all countries and in the whole world, where a certain period of time that is low cases, and then a certain period of time there's high cases, and it comes into waves, the infection rates. So we have developed a great system in TMA that's to ensure the safety of students, as well as to ensure the continuous study process for the students, which is the hybrid learning. We have the classroom learning whenever there are cases less, and especially hopefully now more and more students are getting vaccinated. Just for your information, our Indian students and international students have access to all vaccines in Georgia, just like citizens, so free of charge, and they can get vaccinated even without registration. To go back to the hybrid learning, which is called hybrid because it's a mix of online and offline learning. In whenever we are able to conduct offline learning, especially in practical subjects or practical topics, which needs the attendance of the student in person, and for example, in the clinical skills center or in anatomage, when there is a virtual dissection on the anatomage table, that is conducted into the offline mode. So as well, the clinical rotations in hospitals, same thing, because you need to go and see patients and take history of patients, examine them, and so on. And for the theory and theoretical parts of each subject, it is conducted in online mode, where just to ensure that our students are safe and continue their study. To talk also just quickly to talk about the travel that we have right now, the situation with the travel. Currently, there are no flights from India to Georgia that would allow students yet, just because of the crazy situation with the pandemic right now. Even in Georgia, we have high cases right now, and we're going into the wave as well. But hopefully soon, maybe we will have charter flights, and the charter flights, among the charter flights, the students can come. Of course, in TMA, we make it the easiest for the students by arranging the logistics and helping the students with the logistics of quarantine if needed, and so on, even pick up from the airport and all the logistics like that. Yeah, that's basically about the travel. As for the exchange programs, we have many exchange programs with the European countries as well as other countries. For example, Erasmus and Mevlana exchange programs. And it's not just that. For example, AMO opportunities. This is gives the U.S. clinical experience of clinical rotations. It's also possible in TMA, as well as that we're not, we don't just settle for good. We always would like the best. So we're also trying to negotiate with the other countries through the embassies to have more exchange programs for international students and more opportunities for international students. These are some of the universities that we have exchange programs with. As you can see, in many countries, Yeah. Next, please. I would like to give the floor again to Dr. Nino to talk a little bit about the staff development. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Saif. I will tell you very briefly about our staff as well, because everything we are doing pretty much depends on our staff and our staff development process, because we are having not only students exchange programs but staff exchange programs as well through Erasmus Plus or some other bilateral agreements between us and other mainly European universities. Our staff members are going through not only local trainings and coaching and the study process here in TMA and in Georgia, but we are also participating in international activities all the time. You can see the pictures here. Most of the pictures, as I can see, are taken on AME conferences. I told you briefly, I have told you about the AME above briefly. This is international organization of medical education. And actually it's setting the trends in medical education, in modern medical education. It's giving us opportunities to be involved into the most modern, into the newest medical educational activities. And our staff members are going through this training all the time, and we are inviting our international consultants as well, our international collaborators as well to Tbilisi, and our staff members are going through these trainings in Tbilisi as well. What is the most important here, that the most of the trainings which our staff is taking are conducted by the international experts of medical education from US, from Europe, mainly from Europe, and our partner institution, as for example, in Belgium, Antwerp University, one of the biggest and oldest European universities, which has very traditional and very strong medical school, is our partner in medical education, and they are helping us to develop the newest methodologies, the newest assessment methodologies, teaching methodologies, which we are using here in Tbilisi, Georgia. Next, please. As for the partner clinics, as you can understand, our curriculum is divided symbolically, is divided into two parts, the basic subjects and the clinical subjects. And the clinical subjects are conducted in our partner clinics in Tbilisi. All of them are located in Tbilisi. And we've got the collaboration with more than 35 multi-profiled and specialized clinics in Tbilisi. What does it mean if you are going through internal disease course, for example? Of course, we are choosing multi-profile clinic because it will give you much more variety of the nosologies, which you can see and approach the patients with much diverse nosologies. And if you are going through, for example, I don't know, dermatology course, of course, we will be able to send you to the dermatology clinic, to the clinic which is specialized in dermatology, and you will see the dermatology patients. And our very highly qualified staff is supervising all this process in clinics and monitoring the study process there, just to give all our students the access to the patients and to ensure the high quality education in the clinical setting as well. Next, please. And here we've got maybe this is the most favorite slide of ours, which represents the rate of our students passing MCI in India, while the overall the average passing score percentage of the students from the Georgian universities was 70%. Our was above the 70%. Our students, more than 70% of our students passed the MCI successfully from the first attempt, and this is the fact that we are really proud of here in Tbilisi, of course. Next, please. And now back to Saif for students' activities, of course.
Yep. So in TMA, you don't, of course, you don't just study. We have many students' activity, both scientific and non-scientific, social and um, fun, let's say, activities. For example, as you can see in the pictures, there are many. These are conferences, many conferences that TMA conduct, as well as participate in, like ISCOM's conference done by the IFMSA, the International Federation of Medical Students, as well as many other conferences in Europe and the US. And sometimes even we do funding for students who are academically high to send them to such conferences and to represent TMA. Yeah, as well as the fun activities that you can see in these pictures: sports, social awareness campaigns, environmental activities that we have done before, like the planting trees or the campaign for recycling, as well as the cultural events that we have done, which is the most fun. Which is the cultural exchange days that we do. Of course, nowadays, because of the pandemic, it's a bit slowing us down, but it's not stopping us. We are still conducting such events, student debates, conferences. We are still conducting it online or in hybrid modes as well. Yeah, next. As you can see, the canteen or the cafeteria that exists in TMA. Nowadays, you might not enjoy it yet if you join the TMA, but I'm sure soon enough, hopefully, you will enjoy your breaks in our cafeteria, which is very peaceful and nice vibes and nice environment. It's very important for us to make students feel at home, and which TMA does great job. And take my word as a student, as I was a student in TMA, and I really felt like at home in TMA because they're very supporting to the students. Especially in our student counseling services that provide many services. You know, as a student, to be frank, as a medical student, especially, many students face psychological stress and they need such support. And the TMA does not stop from helping our students in that, as well as planning their careers, showing them and guiding them which opportunities after graduating they can pursue, and what kind of fields they can pursue, and so on. So that's all falls under the student counseling in TMA. Now I would give the floor to Miss Maya to talk a little bit. Oh, sorry. Just to give you, before I give the floor to Miss Maya, just to give you a quick overview of our educational program. This is after you graduate, you would receive the degree of medical doctor. And according to the Georgian legislation, our degree is not just bachelor's degree, but it also involves a master's degree. So it's equivalent to a bachelor and master's degree.
Okay, thank you, Saif. Yes, thank you, Saif. So our guest had a possibility to know and get some information about Tbilisi Medical Academy. But now the main thing is that how to be a future student of Tbilisi Medical Academy. And we have the admission process, which is quite easy. And if we follow step by step, it looks like this. At first, we need to consider school certificate and passport copy. Also, we always ask to fill the application letter and the form. Based on these provided documents, we schedule online interview by Zoom application. The aim of the interview to see how motivated is a student and not to assessment his or her knowledge. It's about to know better because, as Saif mentioned, to be a part of TMA and feel there you should share the same values. And the aim of this online interview is one to see how we are on the same wave and in thinking. After the online interview, we always, if the students satisfy our criteria, we issue the pre-acceptance letter and ask to pay admission fees. The admission fee is paid only once, and we use this admission fee for translation and notarization applicant's document, submitting to the National Center of Education Quality Enhancement for recognition, school level certificate. And based on these recognitions, the Ministry of Education and Science of Georgia issues the order, which allows students to study in Georgia, certainly at TMA. As in our slide, we see it takes from 3 till 5 weeks. Also, after we get the ministry order, we issue the information letter and ask students to pay the tuition fee. First year's tuition fee, now it's $7,000 USD per year, is the first year student paid fully. However, from the second year of studying, the tuition fee can be done in 2 installments. So after the payment is done and we got the confirmation, we provide all necessary documents to the students, like invitation letter and ministry and rector orders, and the student can apply for a visa. This is the main admission process. Also, I want to say 2 words about the average living expenses. And as I said already, admission fee $200 USD paid only once. Tuition fee $7,000 USD per year. Average accommodation costs $4,200 USD per year. And now with COVID, due to COVID-19, we also have the average medical insurance costs, which all students should have the Georgian insurance, medical insurance, to feel safe and to be cared fully in Georgia during the study process in case if they will have COVID-19. And per year, it costs $200 USD. Average meal cost is about $3,000 USD per year. This is what I wanted to present from my side, and I think Dr. Bagel will say additional some words to you. Thank you very much, and looking forward to see you at TMA.
So you're mute.
Thank you so much, Ms. Maya, for your wonderful presentation. Thank you, Astron Institute. Thank you, Mac, that you have organized such a great webinar. And I think it's really helpful for the Indian students. Thank you, Ms. Nino, and thank you, Seth, for your guidance. So I want to ask if anyone have any question, I can explain you here. Okay. If any students have any question, I can explain you in English or Hindi, whatever.
Dear parents, अगर आपके कोई questions है, you can just feel free to to ask him, and we're open for the question and answer round.
Okay, if anyone have question, they can ask. थोड़ा सा मैं आपको briefly बता दूं. हिंदी लैंग्वेज के इंग्लिश के अंदर आपने सुना ही, हिंदी के अंदर थोड़ा बता दूं. टिबिलिसी मेडिकल एकेडमी टीचिंग यूनिवर्सिटी है. ये यूरोपियन कंट्री है जॉर्जिया, जिसका कैपिटल है टिबिलिसी. उसी के नाम से टिबिलिसी मेडिकल एकेडमी टीचिंग यूनिवर्सिटी. और ये जो यूनिवर्सिटी है 1992 से एस्टेब्लिश है वहाँ पर, और 30 इयर्स पुरानी यूनिवर्सिटी है. और अपने इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स, काफी सारे स्टूडेंट्स वहाँ पर ऑलरेडी पास आउट हो चुके हैं. 400 से 500 स्टूडेंट्स ऑलरेडी वहाँ पर पास आउट हो चुके हैं. और अभी तकरीबन 800 स्टूडेंट इंडियन वहाँ पर हमारे पढ़ रहे हैं. ठीक है. और कोर्स के बारे में बता दूं, जो कोर्स का जो ड्यूरेशन है, जैसे अपने इंडिया के अंदर 5.5 साल होता है और 1 साल की इंटर्नशिप होती है. ठीक है. और वैसे ही वहाँ पर है, वहाँ पर 4 साल 8 महीने MBBS कोर्स है और 1 साल की इंटर्नशिप है. और तो उसको हम टोटली मिला के 6 ईयर प्रोग्राम उसको बोलते हैं. अगर आप वहाँ से इंटर्नशिप करके आते हैं तो आपको इंडिया में आकर रिपीट करने की इंटर्नशिप जरूरत है. ठीक है. और एडमिशन के लिए अपन को जो मोस्टली चाहिए, अभी जो इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने लगाया कि बच्चा नीट क्वालिफाई होना चाहिए. ठीक है. और नीट के अंदर 50% मार्क्स होने चाहिए. ठीक है. और देखें तो जैसे अगर जनरल कैटेगरी के अंदर कोई स्टूडेंट है तो उसके लिए नियर अबाउट 150 मार्क्स आउट ऑफ 720 मार्क्स अपन को चाहिए क्वालिफाई के लिए. और अगर हम एसटी या ओबीसी कैटेगरी से हैं तो कम से कम 30 नंबर का डिफरेंस पड़ जाता है, तो उसको तकरीबन 120 मार्क्स चाहिए. ठीक है. और अभी क्या है कि सीटें जो है, जैसे टीएमए के अंदर 150 सीट्स होती हैं टोटली पर ईयर, तो लिमिटेड सीट्स हैं. इसलिए आप सबको यही एडवाइस है, अभी बहुत सारे बच्चों ने एडमिशन ले भी लिए हैं हमारे, और आपको यही एडवाइस है कि आप एक बार अपनी सीट ब्लॉक कर लीजिए. ठीक है. और अपने नीट का एग्जाम दीजिए. पासपोर्ट जिनके पास नहीं है बने हुए, तो जो हमारे गुड़गांव के अंदर है, पूरी आपको हेल्प करता है. आपको जीवन मान लीजिए, नहीं तो आपको पूरी हेल्प करें. ठीक है. और बाकी जो हमारा ये ग्रुप है, स्टूडेंट ग्रुप भी ऐसे ही है कि आपको सिर्फ हमने यहाँ से फीस दी और छुट्टी, हम आपकी पूरी टेक केयर करते हैं वहाँ पर. मैं खुद रिएक्टर एडवाइजर हूँ यूनिवर्सिटी का. ठीक है. और ये जितने भी हमारे बाकी लोग स्टूडेंट के, सारे इंडियन स्टेट्स के अंदर ये एडमिशन देखते हैं. मैं खुद वहाँ रहता हूँ, तो वहाँ आपका वहाँ पढ़ना लिखना रहना सहना खाना पीना सब मेरी देख रेख के अंदर है. और इसके अलावा जैसे एक चीज मैं आपको बताऊं, टीएमए में अपन एडमिशन लेते हैं तो कल को आपके पास में अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि आप यूएसएमएलई की प्रिपरेशन कर सकते हैं, फ्लैट की प्रिपरेशन कर सकते हैं. आगे आपको पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन करना है तो आप यूएसए जा सकते हो, यूरोप की किसी कंट्रीज के अंदर जा सकते हो. बहुत सारे हमारे जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं उन्होंने ज्वाइन भी किया हुआ है, यूएसएमएलई भी क्लियर करा हुआ है. यूरोप के अंदर भी, जर्मनी के अंदर, फ्रांस के अंदर, यूके के अंदर सारे बच्चे वहां पर जाते हैं. ठीक है. ये बहुत प्लस पॉइंट है आपको. अभी जैसे क्वेश्चन आ रहा था, राजू जी का मैसेज आ रहा है, इज देयर एनी अदर लैंग्वेज देन इंग्लिश? यस, वहाँ इंग्लिश तो चलती है, बाकी लोकल लैंग्वेज हर जगह होती है. तो जॉर्जिया जैसे तो उनकी जॉर्जियन लैंग्वेज भी चलती है. बाकी मोस्टली लोग वहाँ पर, जैसे अभी आप देख रहे होंगे स्टाफ जैसे बात कर रहा है, तो सारे लोग वहाँ पर इंग्लिश नॉर्मली बोलते हैं. जैसे अपने यहाँ हिंदी इंग्लिश चलती है, वैसे ही वहाँ इंग्लिश चलती है. जूली का क्वेश्चन आया कि क्वालिफाइंग मार्क्स, देखो ये तो जब मेरिट बनती है तभी पता लगता है, बट नियर अबाउट जनरल कैटेगरी के लिए 150 मार्क्स होते हैं. और एसटी एससी ओबीसी को आप मान के चलिए 25 से 30 नंबर कम होते हैं. 150 मार्क्स जनरली क्वालिफाई के लिए नीट के लिए. ये क्वेश्चन आया एयरपोर्ट से कितना डिफरेंस है. तो ये जो यूनिवर्सिटी है, ये सेंटर ऑफ द सिटी बिल्कुल यूनिवर्सिटी है, मेट्रो के ऊपर यूनिवर्सिटी है. और एयरपोर्ट से जो डिफरेंस है, जैसे अपने हर सिटीज के अंदर 10 से 15 किलोमीटर डिफरेंस होता है, इतना ही डिफरेंस है वहाँ। क्वेश्चन आया है,
ईशा।
हॉस्पिटल यूनिवर्सिटी साथ में है क्या? हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल, यूनिवर्सिटी के खुद के 5 अस्पताल हैं, और बाकी जितने भी यूरोपियन जो स्टैंडर्ड होता है उसके अंदर क्या होता है, जितने भी सिटी में हॉस्पिटल्स होते हैं सारे गवर्नमेंट के अंडर में होते हैं, तो सबके अंदर आपकी प्रैक्टिस चलती है। तो 35 हॉस्पिटल्स और अटैच है इसके साथ। कॉलेज का तो ऑफ कोर्स मेडिकल कॉलेज है तो उसका हॉस्पिटल तो होता ही है।
And if I may add, Dr. Bagel, that we also have plans to have our own
Yes, yes,
hospital, which is
that's what I am safe explaining them. तो अपना खुद का भी इनके हॉस्पिटल्स हैं, और प्लस 60% marks which is eligible or not. Yes, he is eligible. If we have 60%. Actually, जो Medical Council of India का criteria there should be a 50% minimum marks. Okay, in physics, chemistry, and bio. That is our criteria. 50% minimum marks. 60% he is eligible. One more question. So what is the weather in Georgia and laundries available in hostels, sir? My BDS is completed in India. I am eligible for direct MD program, sir. If yes, then please confirm what is the total budget. Neha Jai asking. Yes, weather is very good there. ठीक है, ना ज़्यादा ठंड होती है ना ज़्यादा गर्मी पड़ती है। तिब्लिसी जो है वहाँ पर नॉर्मल वेदर रहता है। नॉर्मली जो वहाँ पर वेदर है 15 to 20 के बीच के अंदर रहता है, और जो अपनी विंटर्स होती है, विंटर जो 0 से लेकर 10 के बीच के अंदर रहता है। ठीक है, लॉन्ड्री इज अवेलेबल। हाँ, लॉन्ड्री बिल्कुल हॉस्टल के अंदर अवेलेबल है। ठीक है, BDS is completed in India and I am eligible for direct MD program. हाँ बिल्कुल, आप डायरेक्टली इसके अंदर एलिजिबल हो जाओगे। टोटल जो बजट आपका होगा, देखो आपको अभी एस्ट्रॉन है, वो आपको सारा जो फीस स्ट्रक्चर है, सारा शेड्यूल आपको समझा देंगे ऑफिस। तो मैं बोलूंगा कि महक को न्याज आपको पूरा फीस स्ट्रक्चर बता दें। ठीक है,
मैं शेयर कर दूंगी आपके साथ फी स्ट्रक्चर, ताकि यू कैन जस्ट डिसाइड एंड देन, जैसे अभी वगेल सर ने कहा, द एप्लीकेशन इज ओपन, द प्री एक्सेप्टेंस लेटर इज बीन प्रोवाइडेड. Sir, there's another question. Is there any scholarship schemes?
Is there any scholarship schemes in TMA? नहीं, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। किसी भी तरीके की जब भी हम इंटरनेशनल अगर हम जाते हैं तो कोई स्कॉलरशिप नहीं होती है। इवन कि हमारे इंडिया के अंदर भी अगर हम एक स्टेट से दूसरी स्टेट के अंदर जाते हैं तो हमें दूसरी स्टेट की जो बेनिफिट्स हैं हमारे को नहीं मिलते। हाँ, स्कॉलरशिप की जगह पे हमारा ये है कि हम आप लोगों को जो TMA है, आप लोगों को अलग अलग कंट्रीज के अंदर विजिट करवाते हैं, जैसे कि यूरोप, अभी आपको प्रोग्राम्स बताया था, नीदरलैंड हो गया, स्पेन हो गया, ऑस्ट्रिया हो गया, बेल्जियम हो गया, पोलैंड हो गया। तो हम आपको स्कॉलरशिप की जगह ये आपको मौका देते हैं कि आप इन कंट्रीज के अंदर अपना एक्सप्लोर करो। आपको सर, आई गॉट 75.4 मार्क्स। यस यस, दिस इज सुनैना। यस, यू आर एलिजिबल। थोड़ा सा ये है कि आपकी थोड़ी बच्चों को हमारे TMA के अंदर ये है कि हम लिमिटेड एडमिशन्स लेते हैं, क्योंकि ये जो कॉलेज है बहुत हाईली प्रोफाइल कॉलेज है जॉर्जिया का, और थोड़ा सा हम ये है कि थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश बच्चों को अच्छा आना चाहिए, ताकि हम जिस बच्चे को ये लें, हमारे रिएक्टर का, जैसे जो हमारे रिएक्टर सुताज है, उनका टारगेट ये होता है कि इफ एनीवन इज टेकिंग एडमिशन इन आवर यूनिवर्सिटी, वो शुड मेक देम डॉक्टर्स। सो ये मार्क्स जो आपके हैं 75-60%, वी नीड 50% मार्क्स, बट ये होना चाहिए कि आपका पढ़ाई के अंदर पूरा मन होना चाहिए। व्हाट अबाउट द नेक्स्ट कोचिंग? यस, और जो देखो क्यूरिकुलम चलता है TMA के अंदर, वो सारा ही हमने ऐसे प्लान कर रखा है नेक्स्ट के एग्जाम की तरह। और जो कोचिंग्स है वो भी आपको कोचिंग्स दिलवाई जाती है, जैसे कि अभी ऑनलाइन कोचिंग्स चल रही है अभी कोविड के अंदर, तो बिल्कुल कोचिंग्स चल रही है। क्यूरिकुलम ही ऐसा सेट किया हुआ है पूरा कि जो अपने इंडियन क्यूरिकुलम के हिसाब से, इवन कि आपको USMLE की प्रिपरेशन भी कर सकते हो, लैब की भी प्रिपरेशन कर सकते हो। जो नेक्स्ट की कोचिंग है ये तो होती है। हाउ मच हॉलीडेज आफ्टर एग्जाम? देखो राजू ने पूछा है, देखो 2 तरीके की हॉलीडेज है वहाँ पर, एक तो समर वेकेशन होती है, एक विंटर वेकेशन होती है। तो साल के 2 सेमेस्टर होते हैं अपने। अभी जैसे जो फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर है आपका अभी अक्टूबर नवंबर होगा, ये एंड होता है फरवरी मार्च के अंदर। तो फरवरी मार्च के अंदर आपको 15 से 20 डेज की हॉलीडेज मिलेंगे आपको, ठीक है, और मे बी 10 डेज क्योंकि शॉर्ट होती है, 2 और 3 वीक्स की हॉलीडेज होती है। बट आफ्टर दैट इन समर व्हेन यू आर कंप्लीटिंग इन जून और जुलाई यू विल गेट 1.5 or 2 months holidays you will get. So totally near about 2 to 2.5 months holidays you will get in every year. But every year schedule of the classes, the schedule of the exams is different. तो वो उस अकॉर्डिंग होता है, कभी आपको थोड़ी 10-15 दिन कम छुट्टी होती है, कई बार आपको 10-15 दिन ज्यादा छुट्टी होती है। तो सुनैना यू आर एलिजिबल, आप अपनी महक मैडम से बात करें, आप अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स उनके साथ शेयर करें, और जो मिस माया है यही आपको एक छोटा सा साइट इंटरव्यू देंगे। आप मिस माया को देखा है और आपका एडमिशन लेटर आ जाएगा, ठीक है। और राजू ने भी पूछा है, यस यस वी आर, इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन यूएसएमएलई कोचिंग, पूरी हेल्प करते हैं आपकी, उसके अंदर भी आपको प्रोवाइड करते हैं, पूरी हेल्प आपको, पूरी गाइडेंस दी जाती है। इवन की जो कई टीचर्स हैं डीएमए के अंदर यूएसएमएलई क्लियर्ड हैं, और बहुत सारे हमारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं। अभी एक स्टूडेंट है इधर नोएडा का ही, वरुण थॉमस, उनका यूएसएमएलई के अंदर सिलेक्शन हुआ है।
May I interrupt you for a second, just for a second? We've got experience with co-funding our students' USMLE exams, which are not cheap, as you can know, but our international Indian student, by the way, it was Varun, right? So if I remember correctly, yes, the latest case was with Varun, that he was very successful with high academic performance, so we co-funded his USMLE exams, of course, because we are proud of him so much.
That's great. And Raju is asking any job. Yes, if you can do any job there. So many jobs are available there. If you can, so आप कर सकते हैं job.
Vishali, you've raised your hand.
Palak is asking about is TMA is recognized with NMC. Yes, dear, of course, TMA is recognized with NMC, and without recognition in NMC, you can't even go there. And even की जो मेडिकल काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया के अभी जिसको नेशनल मेडिकल कमीशन बन गया है, इसको मेडिकल काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया था पहले, बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं इंडिया के अंदर, मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी बताया 4 से 5 बैच ऑलरेडी पास आउट हो चुके हैं, और मेडिकल काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया का एग्जाम क्लियर करके और यहाँ इंडिया के अंदर अपने रजिस्ट्रेशन भी उनके हो चुके हैं और अपनी प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं। ये सारी चीज़ के डॉक्यूमेंट्स आपको महक मैडम शेयर भी कर सकते हैं, बिल्कुल रिकॉग्नाइज है। बिना आप एस्ट्रॉन इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ में अगर आप बैठे हुए हैं, तो हमारे पास कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है कि किसी बच्चे को गलत गाइडेंस किया जाए। आपको टॉप प्रायोरिटी के अंदर, टॉप यूनिवर्सिटीज के अंदर, चाहे आप किसी भी कोर्स के अंदर जाते हैं, तो आपको टॉप एडवाइस दी जाए। So of course it is recognized to them. That is our medical council.
Vishali, you've raised your hand. Do you have a question? आपको कुछ पूछना है विशाली?
हाँ जी, good afternoon. Just wanted to know about do we train the children, or do we provide the coaching to the children along with the MBBS for USMLE exam as well as the next exam, or not?
Yes. Vishali ma'am, along with the course, we are giving trainings. उनको NMC की मेडिकल काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया की ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है। अगर बच्चा USMLE के अंदर इंटरेस्टेड है, तो उनको USMLE की ट्रेनिंग्स के अंदर भी उनको पूरी हेल्प करी जाती है। इवन की फ्लैट के अंदर भी अगर उनको जरूरत है, तो फ्लैट की भी हेल्प करी जाती है कोर्स के साथ साथ।
And again, I will interrupt you for a second, if I may. We've got access to AMPOS software. Saif already has told you about it, which offers you trainings for USMLE exams as well. They have this possibility. You have free access to ampos.com with our password, and you can train as much as you wish for USMLE there for free.
Okay, thank you so much.
So we have Vishal, we have portals, online training के भी है, जैसे कि अभी कोविड के अंदर जो चल रहा है तो सारा आपको सिस्टम दे दिया जाता है कि जितना मर्जी आप पढ़ाई करें, लेक्चर्स करें आप, ठीक है। और अगर टीचर्स के साथ में भी आपको हेल्प चाहिए तो बहुत सारे टीचर यूएसएमएलई वहाँ पर ट्रेन, यही स्पेशलिटी है जो अपन को अलग करती है दूसरे कॉलेज।
थैंक यू सर।
Anyone else has any other question to Bagel sir or to the team? Anyone?
Raju is asking, can parents can visit the university with student? Yes, आप बिल्कुल जा सकते हैं, जब मर्जी जा सकते हैं, और बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स हैं जाते हैं।
Right. Any other question from any parent, any student?
मेरे ख्याल से मोस्टली जो क्वेश्चंस हैं क्लियर हो ही चुके हैं। बच्चों के लिए क्वेश्चन होते हैं, एक तो पेरेंट्स का होता है कि सेफ्टी, चलो मैं आपको थोड़ा सा 2 मिनट लेके क्लियर कर देता हूँ। सबसे पहले क्वेश्चन होता है पेरेंट्स का सेफ्टी। तो सेफ्टी के अंदर अगर हम देखते हैं तो जॉर्जिया है 6th सेफेस्ट कंट्री है अभी इस टाइम वर्ल्ड के अंदर। इवन लड़के लड़कियों के लिए बिल्कुल सेफ कंट्री है। आप रात को 2 बजे भी निकलो, 4 बजे भी निकलो, जब तक आप किसी को नहीं छेड़ोगे तो वहाँ आपको कोई नहीं छेड़ता है, ठीक है। ना ही उन लोगों को अपने ये सब छेड़खानी अपनी यहीं पर मतलब होते हैं, वहाँ ऐसा कोई मतलब भी नहीं है, ठीक है। दूसरी चीज आ जाती है फूड की, खाने की। तो खाने की मैं आपको बता दूं कि वहाँ पर जॉर्जिया के अंदर जो एग्रीकल्चर है काफी अच्छे तरीके से होता है। जो वेदर है वहाँ पर बिल्कुल हर एक तरीके का वेदर है। तो हमारा जो मेन इशू होता है अपने इंडियंस का, और अगर हम अभी जो बात कर रहे हैं हमारा नॉर्थ इंडिया के अंदर ये वेबिनार चल रहा है, हमारे को रोटी और चावल जो है ये चाहिए होता है। तो रोटी अच्छी वहाँ पर खेती होती है गेहूं की, तो हर एक तरीके की अपन को रोटी, सब्जी, ग्रीन वेजिटेबल्स है, सारी चीजें वहाँ पर मिलती है, ठीक है। और अपने लोग वैसे भी यूरोप के अंदर कोई भी साइड के अंदर जाते हैं तो अपने लोग वैसे भी वहाँ बिजनेस के लिए रहते हैं, काम काज के लिए रहते हैं। तो इंडियन रेस्टोरेंट्स भी वहाँ पर खूब सारे हैं, आप इंजॉय कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। इसके बाद में आ जाता है कि कपड़े वपड़े का तो लॉन्ड्री अवेलेबल है, नहीं तो वॉशिंग मशीन होती है तो आप खुद धो सकते हैं, नहीं तो आप धुलवा सकते हैं, ठीक है। और इसके बाद में ये हो जाता है कि हमारा बच्चा है जैसे वहाँ जाएगा तो कौन उसका ध्यान रखेगा। तो इसके लिए हमारे जो टीम मेंबर्स हैं वहाँ पर खुद जॉर्जिया के अंदर रहते हैं। तो आपका पूरा वहाँ पर ऐसा नहीं कि आपको भेज दिया और छुट्टी दी, ऐसा, ठीक है। और बाकी मेरे ख्याल से किसी भी तरीके का कोई क्वेश्चन बचा नहीं है, सारी चीज क्लियर है। एकेडमिक से अगर कोई रिलेटेड है तो आपको मैक मैडम आपको क्लियर कर देगी। और मेरा ये है कि आप उनसे मैक मैडम से बात करके अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स उनको सबमिट कराएं और अपना एडमिशन आप जल्दी बुक करें, क्योंकि सीट्स जो है वो लिमिटेड होती हैं। जिसकी सीट बुक हो गई, अगर सीट खत्म है तो उसके बाद में सीट बुक नहीं कर सकते, है ना। और जो नीट का एग्जाम है ये हमारे इंडिया के अंदर है तो इंडिया की वजह से लेट हो रहा है, बट फॉरेन कंट्रीज को भी जैसे किया है, हमने फिर भी इसको महीना 1.5 महीना हमारा शेड्यूल लेट किया है। तो आप दोनों तरफ, अगर आपका नीट के अंदर आप अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स जमा करवा लिए, अपनी सीट बुक कर लीजिए। अगर आपका यहाँ हो जाता है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, नहीं तो आपके पास में वहाँ की सीट्स तो बुक ही रहेगी, है ना।
राइट, ठीक है।
Okay,
thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Bagel, for being so patient and answering all the questions for the parents. Any question? BK Meena, आपने अपने आप को unmute किया है? You want to ask something? I think that was not the correct one. Okay, so thank you so much, Dr. Nino. Thank you so much for coming on a Saturday and sparing out time with your entire team. Thank you so much, Mr. Saif Rustam. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Miss Nia. And above all, thank you so much, Dr. Bagel. Thank you so very much.
She is Miss Maya.
I'm so sorry. So I'm really sorry, Miss Maya. I'm really sorry. Okay, so thank you.
No problem. Don't worry. Thank you very much, you, for this webinar, Dr. Bagel. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a great weekend. Thank you.
See you soon. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, sir. Bye.